Hey, welcome back to Shred Rip Fit. Today I'm going to be talking about targeting a brand new lake, a lake you've never been to, and pre-fishing it, getting ready for a tournament. Please hit that subscribe button, hit me up, get some stickers. Thank you for watching. Here's Pine Flat Lake. This is the lake I'll be fishing. We've had a lot of rain, so I know a lot of rainwater is going to be coming into these lakes, making the water a little murky, and the water temperature is going to be higher in those locations. So when I do go up in these little pockets and channels, I'll be looking for that running water and target that, especially with a spinnerbait. If it's clear and cold, you know, they're going to pull back out. So that's when I'll start hitting some of these secondary points and stuff. And that's kind of, I'll start in the back of these creek channels and slowly work my way out. As a last resort, I will go through and look for little island tops and stuff that could potentially be holding some fish and drop shot. One thing too, you'll notice on this map, there's not an awful lot of detail for this lake. You know, I'm not seeing a lot of island tops and things like some of the other lakes have. So that's when I'll go in and take my Navionics card and make sure that it's up to date. First off, on all these lakes in my area, most of them have trout. So I always have some sort of swim baits tied up. Usually I always have a Huddleston and a bait smith. I like to go with the MS Slammer. I'll throw that in the morning. I'll throw glide baits over the points. I really like these River to Sea light trouts. And I'll also throw some of the depths baits. I always leave a pole in my boat with a spinner bait. We'll throw those, especially where the muddy water from all these rains are coming in. We'll throw an underspin. It's got a little 4-inch Keitech trailer on it. I like to do those, see if we can target some of those aggressive fish. As well as a rip bait, tuned so it suspends, it stays in the same spot. Once I've thrown the reaction stuff, I'll kind of switch over to some jigs. I have a swim style jig here with another Keitech trailer. And then my just standard jig, it's purple and brown. I usually use a green pumpkin trailer of some sort. The spotted bass in my area really hammer these little dark sleepers. It's a Megabass dark sleeper. They hit these things like a freight train. If the swim bait stuff and the reaction baits are working, I will stick with those. I will keep hammering fish until they quit biting that. And then I will switch over to the jigs. I'll keep throwing those and see if I can establish a bite. You know, especially in pre-fishing, you're looking for quality. But if it comes down to it and you're needing a bite, then that's when I switch game plans a little bit. So if I figure out that the jigs and the swim baits and reaction stuff aren't quite working, I'll usually this time of year bump over to a shaky head. This is a half-ounce shaky head and a Zoom trick worm. I'll throw this for a little bit. If that doesn't work, I'll throw a Cinco on this and throw that. And then if I'm still having trouble getting bit, I'll switch over to a little Ned rig here. I'll try something like that in green pumpkin. If I'm still having trouble getting bit on any of those, I'll go over and throw a Gets It. The spotted bass and the smallmouth really like this this bait. If you're in need of a bite, that's always a good bait to go to. And then a staple in my boat for wintertime fishing, early spring, is a drop shot rig. I actually have this one hooked up with two 1/0 hooks, different distances apart, and I got an oxblood color, pink color here. This pretty much stays in my boat. A lot of video game fishing, if you're in a spot, you're in 35, 40 foot of water, cast into the bank, and you just go over a pile of fish or see a nice rock pile that might be holding some fish, this is always a good option to have. It's an awful lot of rods to have in the boat, but they're all rigged up, ready to go. You can change it anytime. You know, that's what pre-fishing is all about. It's about targeting the quality locations. Here's just a quick rundown of some of the lure progression, especially pre-fishing, trying out a new lake. You know, you're going to throw one thing. You're not going to throw the crap out of it. You're in search mode, not destroy mode. You're there to find pockets that hold quality fish and find out what they're biting and the cover they're relating to. So here's kind of the progression I'll go through in a pre-fishing scenario. I always throw big baits. From there, I'm going to go start with the spinner bait. Then I'll go with an underspin, maybe try a bladed jig. This time of year, you know, craw colors, you can't go wrong. So I'll throw some square lips. If I see them holding deeper, I'll throw some deep diving, and also rattle traps, lipless crankbaits. I'll try those. That's when I'll switch over to a jig. You know, I'll fish it. I'll start by popping it a few times and then dragging it, or just a slow drag. I'll kind of do some different retrieves. From there, that's when I'll go over to the Senko. I'll throw it on a shaky head. I'll throw a wacky rigged. I'll try different things. I'll put a straight tail worm on it, like that Zoom trick worm. See if they're wanting any of those. If I can't really establish a bite on those, I will switch over to this little Ned rig. Switch over to a Gets It. You know, those spotted bass, they really like these things. It seems like you can always trick a fish into biting one of these. If that doesn't work from there, you might need to go over and switch to a drop shot. You know, start out with a 6-inch worm, drop it right on their heads, see if that'll work. If not, you might have to bump down to a 4-inch. And remember, this is pre-fishing. You're not going out there to catch 100 bass. You're going out there to find and build a game plan for what you want to do in your tournament. You're looking for quality, and you're looking for what their structure they're relating to, where they're at, and what they want to eat. So don't be afraid to try different things, and don't spend a lot of time doing one thing. You know, you're not out there to build confidence in a lure that you don't throw very often. You're out there to use all the tools that are available to establish a bite and figure out a game plan, so that way during tournament time, you're not out there scratching your head guessing. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps.